My beloved child, stop for a moment and do not let your attention drift away. This message found you for a reason, and before this story reaches its final moment, something unexpected will come to light. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life when silence speaks louder than words, when hidden actions begin to create echoes that no one can escape. Today is one of those moments. Someone believed they could wound your heart, walk away without consequences, and hide the truth forever. They convinced themselves that no one would ever see what happened behind closed doors. They smiled in public while carrying secrets in private. They acted as though they had won, believing the story had already ended. But stories built on hidden betrayal never end where people expect. They continue quietly until every hidden choice begins to reveal its own weight. Listen carefully, because this is not a story about revenge. It is a story about truth. Truth has a remarkable way of finding every shadow, no matter how carefully it has been covered. The person who thought their actions would disappear into yesterday has slowly begun to realize something they never imagined. Every peaceful night they expected has become strangely restless. Every confident step they once took has become uncertain. Every smile they forced has become heavier than before. They cannot explain why their thoughts keep returning to a single memory they wanted to erase. They cannot understand why the silence around them feels louder every passing day. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason these words are reaching your ears right now. Sometimes people think the greatest victory is hurting someone and moving on without looking back. They believe that if enough time passes, every choice will simply disappear. But time does not erase every action. Time often reveals what people tried hardest to hide. Every decision leaves a mark somewhere. Every word spoken carelessly creates a ripple. Every act of betrayal plants a seed that eventually grows into something impossible to ignore. Picture a traveler carrying an invisible backpack. At first it feels light. They laugh, they celebrate, and they believe no one notices what they carry. But every mile adds another stone. Another secret. Another excuse. Another memory. Eventually the backpack becomes so heavy they cannot understand why every step feels difficult. The weight was never placed there by someone else. It was built piece by piece through their own choices. That is the hidden truth many people never realize until much later. There was a season when your kindness was mistaken for weakness. Your patience was misunderstood. Your silence was interpreted as surrender. Some people looked at your gentle heart and assumed they could write whatever story they wanted about you. They thought they could change how others viewed you while protecting their own image. They believed appearances would last forever. Yet appearances are fragile. They can stand proudly for a little while, but when truth begins to move, even the strongest mask starts to crack. Have you ever watched clouds cover the sun? For a while everything becomes darker. It almost feels as though the light has disappeared forever. But the sun never stopped shining. The clouds were only passing through. In the same way, there were moments when it felt as though your value had been hidden beneath misunderstanding, disappointment, and betrayal. Yet your worth never disappeared. It simply waited for the right moment to shine again. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another part of this story that few people ever talk about. The person who caused the pain expected to forget your kindness quickly. They believed new distractions would erase old memories. Instead, the opposite happened. The smallest reminders began appearing unexpectedly. A familiar place. A familiar song. A familiar conversation. A familiar expression on someone else's face. These simple moments quietly awakened memories they thought were buried forever. Every memory became another question. Every question became another restless night. Every restless night became another reminder that some actions cannot simply be ignored. They wondered why peace seemed so difficult to find. They searched for answers everywhere except the place where the answer truly lived. Deep inside, they already knew what had happened. Deep inside, they knew exactly where everything began to change. Meanwhile, you continued moving forward even when you believed no one noticed your struggle. Every difficult morning strengthened something inside you. Every lonely evening taught you resilience. Every tear that no one witnessed watered a future you could not yet see. Growth often happens quietly. Trees do not announce the moment their roots grow deeper beneath the ground. They simply become stronger until one day everyone notices their height. Think about a sculptor standing before a rough stone. To an ordinary observer, it looks like nothing special. But the sculptor already sees something extraordinary hidden inside. Every careful strike removes what does not belong. Every patient movement reveals beauty that was always waiting beneath the surface. Difficult seasons often work the same way. They remove fear. They remove false expectations. They remove dependence on people who were never meant to define your future. What remains is something stronger than before. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The turning point of this story is closer than it appears. The one who believed their betrayal would remain hidden is beginning to notice that truth does not arrive with loud announcements. It arrives quietly. It appears in unexpected conversations. It appears in moments of reflection. It appears when someone finally stops running from themselves. No crowd is needed. No dramatic scene is required. Truth speaks softly, yet it reaches places that noise never can. There is something fascinating about mirrors. They never argue. They never accuse. They simply reflect what stands before them. Eventually life places every person in front of such a mirror. Not a mirror made of glass, but a mirror made of honesty. In that moment, excuses become smaller. Pretending becomes harder. The image staring back can no longer be avoided. Perhaps there was a time when you questioned your own worth because of what happened. Perhaps you wondered whether the pain meant you had somehow failed. But hear this carefully. Another person's choices do not define your value. Someone else's betrayal cannot erase your character. Someone else's dishonesty cannot rewrite your identity. The chapter may have been painful, but it was never the entire story. Every sunrise carries a quiet promise that darkness is temporary. Every new beginning reminds us that endings often prepare the ground for something greater. While someone else became trapped inside the consequences of hidden choices, you were slowly becoming stronger than yesterday. You may not have noticed every small change, but they were happening. Your courage was growing. Your wisdom was deepening. Your compassion remained alive despite everything you experienced. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest surprise is not that hidden actions eventually become known. The greatest surprise is what those moments reveal about the people involved. They reveal integrity. They reveal humility. They reveal character. When pressure increases, what is truly inside always comes to the surface. Imagine standing beside a river after a storm. The water may appear muddy for a while, but as time passes, everything begins to settle. Slowly the water becomes clear enough to reflect the sky once again. Hearts work in a similar way. Pain may cloud them temporarily, but healing has a remarkable ability to restore clarity. One day you realize you are no longer carrying the same burden. You are no longer defined by the same disappointment. You are no longer trapped inside yesterday's story. The person who believed everything would stay hidden never expected that their greatest challenge would come from within. No one needed to chase them. No one needed to expose them publicly. Their own reflections became impossible to escape. Every hidden decision slowly returned like an unanswered echo. They discovered that peace cannot be borrowed from appearances. It can only grow where honesty lives. Now another page is beginning to turn. You cannot fully see it yet, but it is already moving. New opportunities often arrive quietly before they become obvious. New hope usually whispers before it speaks loudly. New joy often enters gently before it transforms everything around it. This story is not ending where many expected. It is moving toward a revelation that neither you nor the other person could have imagined. So remain attentive. Keep your heart steady. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter will uncover what happened after hidden choices finally met undeniable truth, and why the outcome surprised everyone who thought the story had already been written. A strange silence has now settled over the story, but do not mistake silence for the end. Sometimes the loudest turning point arrives without a single warning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The person who once believed they had escaped every consequence has begun noticing changes they cannot explain. Doors that once opened with ease now seem to remain closed. Conversations that once felt effortless suddenly become uncomfortable. Confidence that once appeared unshakable has quietly started to disappear. They keep asking themselves the same question over and over again: why does nothing feel the same anymore? The answer has been standing beside them all along, but they have been afraid to face it. Every morning begins with another attempt to convince themselves everything is fine. Every evening ends with another reminder that peace cannot be created through pretending. They replay old conversations in their mind. They remember words they spoke without thinking. They remember moments when they chose pride instead of honesty. They remember the expression on your face that they believed they would forget forever. But memories have a way of returning when people least expect them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is something extraordinary happening beneath the surface that almost nobody can see. While they are becoming exhausted from carrying hidden regret, you are slowly becoming lighter. At first, you did not notice it. Healing rarely announces itself. It arrives quietly, one peaceful morning at a time. One hopeful thought at a time. One courageous decision at a time. The weight you once carried every day has slowly begun slipping away from your shoulders, even if you cannot fully recognize it yet. Imagine a lighthouse standing through the fiercest storm. Waves crash against it. Powerful winds surround it. Dark clouds hide the stars above. Yet the lighthouse never abandons its purpose. It continues shining because that is what it was built to do. You are far stronger than you have given yourself credit for. Difficult seasons were never sent to destroy your light. They revealed that your light could survive storms that others could not even imagine facing. Meanwhile, the person who believed they had gained everything through betrayal is beginning to understand that temporary victories often become lasting burdens. They collected applause from people who never knew the full story. They protected an image that required constant effort to maintain. Every smile became another performance. Every success felt strangely incomplete. They discovered something surprising. It is impossible to celebrate fully when your heart is carrying unfinished truth. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life when people reach a crossroads they never expected. One road continues deeper into excuses. The other road leads toward honesty. Standing at that crossroads is never easy because honesty requires courage. It asks people to admit what pride has spent years hiding. It asks them to face the very thing they hoped time would erase. There were nights when you wondered whether anyone truly understood your pain. There were moments when you questioned why your kindness had been answered with disappointment. Yet every unanswered question quietly prepared you for wisdom that could never have been learned another way. Pain has an unusual way of teaching what comfort sometimes cannot. It opens your eyes to the value of genuine people. It teaches you to recognize character beyond appearances. It reminds you that real peace never depends on someone else's approval. Now something unexpected begins unfolding. The same people who once accepted only one version of the story have started noticing small inconsistencies. Tiny details no longer fit together. Questions begin appearing where certainty once existed. Nobody planned for this to happen. Nobody forced it. Truth simply has a way of revealing itself little by little until pretending becomes impossible. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. This next revelation changes everything. The greatest price they are paying is not financial. It is not public embarrassment. It is something much deeper. They are losing the ability to believe their own excuses. Every explanation sounds weaker than before. Every justification feels emptier than yesterday. Deep inside, they know exactly where the turning point happened. They remember the moment they chose what was easy instead of what was right. That memory follows them everywhere. Picture someone trying to outrun their own shadow. The faster they run, the closer the shadow remains. No matter which direction they choose, it never leaves. Hidden choices behave the same way. People can change cities, careers, friendships, and routines, but they cannot outrun what lives inside their own heart. Peace only begins when truth is finally welcomed instead of avoided. As for you, another transformation is quietly taking place. Your confidence is returning, not because someone apologized, but because you are rediscovering who you were before disappointment tried to redefine you. You are remembering your strength. You are remembering your kindness. You are remembering that your future was never dependent upon one painful chapter. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The story is approaching a moment that no one saw coming. Someone who once remained silent has begun noticing pieces of the truth. Someone who observed everything without speaking is preparing to connect events that others ignored. They are not driven by anger. They are simply unable to ignore what they have seen any longer. The hidden pieces of the puzzle are slowly coming together. Think about sunrise. It never rushes. It does not argue with the darkness. It simply arrives, and when it does, darkness quietly disappears. Truth behaves the same way. It does not need endless explanations. It only needs the right moment. Once that moment arrives, everything becomes easier to understand. The person who hurt you thought the hardest part would be hiding what happened from everyone else. They were wrong. The hardest part has become hiding it from themselves. Every quiet moment forces reflection. Every peaceful afternoon invites another memory. Every celebration reminds them of something missing that success alone cannot replace. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What comes next is more surprising than anyone expected. The truth is beginning to move toward the open, not through conflict, but through unexpected conversations, overlooked details, and remarkable timing. The very things they believed were forgotten are becoming impossible to ignore. The chapter they thought was permanently closed is slowly opening once again, and when it does, the next revelation will change the direction of this story forever. Everything has now led to this moment. Every quiet memory, every hidden choice, every unanswered question has been moving toward a single point where nothing can remain concealed any longer. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The ending of this chapter is not filled with shouting or chaos. It is filled with something far more powerful, the moment when truth quietly stands in the light and no longer needs to defend itself. The person who once believed they had complete control over the story wakes up one morning with an overwhelming realization. The image they worked so hard to protect has become impossible to maintain. Small details they ignored have connected together. People who never questioned anything before have started seeing the bigger picture. No dramatic announcement was needed. No one had to force the truth into the open. It simply arrived, piece by piece, until even silence could no longer hide it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They replay everything in their mind one final time. They remember the first decision that seemed harmless. They remember every excuse that followed. They remember convincing themselves that no one would ever know. But the greatest surprise is not that others are beginning to understand what happened. The greatest surprise is that they finally understand what they lost. They did not lose because someone defeated them. They lost because they walked away from honesty. They traded lasting peace for temporary comfort. They exchanged trust for convenience. Now they stand surrounded by everything they once wanted, yet something essential is missing. Success feels incomplete. Achievements feel quieter than before. Smiles disappear the moment they are alone. For the first time, they recognize that the greatest cost of betrayal is not what others think, it is the peace that quietly slips away from the one who chose it. Meanwhile, your journey has been changing in ways you could not see. Every difficult day became part of your strength. Every disappointment refined your character. Every tear became proof that your heart never stopped choosing kindness even when kindness was not returned. You thought you were simply surviving, but you were becoming someone wiser, calmer, and stronger than the version of yourself that entered this story. Imagine a seed buried deep beneath the ground. To anyone looking from above, it appears forgotten. Weeks pass. Nothing seems to happen. Then one morning, without warning, a small green shoot breaks through the soil. Nobody watching can fully understand how much growth happened where no one could see it. Your life has been following the same pattern. What looked like silence was preparation. What looked like delay was quiet growth. What looked like an ending was actually the beginning of something greater. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here comes the moment everything has been building toward. One unexpected conversation changes everything. It is not planned. It is not forced. During an ordinary day, someone mentions a forgotten detail. Another person remembers something they once dismissed. A third quietly adds a missing piece. Suddenly the entire picture becomes clear. The story everyone believed begins to shift. The truth that remained hidden for so long finally finds its place. No loud confrontation follows. No dramatic scene unfolds. Instead, there is a powerful silence. The kind of silence that comes when people finally understand what really happened. The kind of silence that cannot be undone. In that moment, the person who caused the hurt realizes there is nothing left to hide behind. Excuses no longer sound convincing. Pretending no longer feels possible. They lower their eyes, not because someone forced them to, but because truth has become impossible to ignore. And then something even more remarkable happens. You are no longer waiting for validation. You are no longer hoping someone else will prove your worth. You are no longer carrying the heavy weight that once followed you everywhere. You simply stand in peace. That peace becomes your greatest victory. Because while someone else spent countless days protecting a false story, you spent those same days becoming stronger. While they carried hidden regret, you carried quiet resilience. While they looked backward, you kept moving forward. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. This is the ending they never expected. The betrayal they believed would remain hidden did not define your future. It revealed your strength. It uncovered your resilience. It proved that truth does not need to race, it only needs time. As this chapter closes, remember this: whenever life feels unfair again, hidden actions may delay the truth, but they cannot erase it. Character outlasts appearances. Integrity outlives deception. Quiet strength always travels farther than borrowed confidence. And just as you think the story has reached its final page, another unexpected door begins to open. A new opportunity. A new connection. A new season. The chapter that follows is not about what was taken from you. It is about everything that is waiting ahead because you refuse to let someone else's choices determine the rest of your story. The ending you feared never arrived. A better beginning did.